All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Dom coming back with another video, and this is my Minnesota Wild at Buffalo Sabres recap. What a game! What a game it was. Let's recap this, and let's recap it right now. Here we go. So, uh, goals Minnesota 5, Buffalo 6. It was a 6-5 Sabres win, by the way, in overtime. So they win back to back games in overtime and improved to 20-15-2 on this season. So let's recap this. Goals Minnesota 5, Buffalo 6. Shots Minnesota 44, Buffalo 37. Block shots Minnesota 16, Buffalo 4. Hits Minnesota 21, Buffalo 7. That's got to improve. Face-offs Minnesota 31, Buffalo 29. Power plays Minnesota was 2 for 4, Buffalo was 2 for 3. So very good power plays tonight. And every time they wear the black and red goat heads, the uniforms they went to the Stanley Cup Finals in 1999, they score 6 goals every game they wear them. 6 goals every game they wear these black and red goat heads. So, and penalty minutes Minnesota 6, Buffalo 8. So, let's go over the scoring. Here we go. In the first period, at 13 minutes, it was Buffalo's Victor Olofsson, his 14th of the season, assisted by Casey Middlestat, his 14th, and Rasmus Dahlin, his 30th. And it's a 1-0 Buffalo lead after one period of play. And then in the second, at 2:52, it was Minnesota's Brandon Duhaime, his 4th of the season, assisted by Ryan Hartman, his 7th, and Matt Dumba, his 7th. And it's a 1-1 hockey game. And then at 6:46, it was Minnesota's Kirill Kaprizov, his 23rd of the season on the power play, assisted by Kalen Addison, his 17th, and Sam Steele, his 11th. And it's a 2-1 Wild lead in the second. But the second period had 6 goals, 3 by each team. Here we go. At 10:30, it was Buffalo's Tage Thompson, his 31st of the season on the power play, assisted by Rasmus Dahlin, his 2nd of the game, his 31st of the season, and Dylan Cousins, his 24th, and it's a 2-2 hockey game. And then at 12:02, it was Buffalo's Rasmus Dahlin, his 11th of the season, assisted by Casey Middlestat, his 2nd of the game, his 15th of the season, and Tyson Jost, his 8th of the season. And it's a 3-2 Buffalo Sabres lead over the Minnesota Wild. And then at 13:55, it was Buffalo's Dylan Cousins, his 13th of the season on the power play, assisted by Alex Tuck, his 25th. And it's a 4-2 Sabre lead in the second. But the second period scoring isn't done yet. At 18:45, it was Minnesota's Ryan Hartman, his 5th, assisted by Frederick Goodrow, his 9th. And after 2, it's a 4-3 Sabres lead. And then in the third, at 26 seconds, it was Minnesota's Marcus Foligno, his 4th of the season, assisted by Joel Eriksson Ek, his 17th of the season, and Jordan Greenway, his 4th. And it's a 4-4 game. Again, tied. And then at 7:48, it was Minnesota's Joel Eriksson Ek, his 14th of the season on the power play, assisted by Kalen Addison, his 2nd of the season, his 18th, his 2nd of the game, his 18th of the season, and Marc-Andre Fleury, his 1st of the season. And it's a 5-4 Wild lead. But then at 17:36, it was Buffalo's Rasmus Dahlin, his 2nd of the game, his 12th of the season, assisted by Casey Middlestat, his 3rd of the game, his 16th of the season, and Owen Power, his 14th of the season. And it's a 5-5 hockey game. and we are going to overtime because that was the final. At the end of the third, it was 5-5. So we go to, as the Sabres announcer would say, we are going to TK overtime. I like that. That's a saying by Dan Dunleavy, as he is the new Sabres announcer who took over for Rick Jenneret. So Dan Dunleavy is the new Buffalo Sabres announcer, and he's a good one too. I like Dan Dunleavy. And then in overtime, at 4:41, it was Buffalo's Victor Olofsson, his second of the game, his 15th of the season, assisted by Peyton Krebs, his sixth, and Rasmus Dahlin, his third of the game, his 32nd of the season, and it's a 6-5 Buffalo Sabres win in the black and red goat heads. Every time they wear the black and red goat head jerseys, they score 6 goals. No more, no less. They score six goals when they wear the black and red goat heads. Uh, there's some players who think they should go back to the black and red goat heads after switching back from the black and red goat heads to the blue and gold. Some players want to return to the black and red goat heads. I like these uniforms because they're the originals, and that's the Buffalo Sabres. Penalties in the first period at 17-19. It was Minnesota's Kirill Kaprizov, 2 minutes for hooking. And then in the second period, at 5:22, it was Buffalo's Ilya Labushkin, 2 minutes for interference. At 6:24, it was Buffalo's Jack Quinn, 2 minutes for delay of game, puck over the glass. At 10:24, it was Minnesota's Kana Duar, 2 minutes for tripping. And at 12:42, it was Minnesota's Kirill Kaprizov, 2 minutes for roughing. And then in the third period at 5:32, it was Buffalo's Cale Clegg, 2 minutes for tripping. And at 7:27, it was Buffalo's Tyson Jost, 2 minutes for tripping, or 2 minutes for hooking. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen gets the win. He didn't look that good at first, and there were some points in the game where he didn't look that good, but he got the win. They did what they needed to win this game, and they stay in the playoff hunt. So they're only 4 points out of a wild card playoff game. They have games in hand on the other teams. So if they keep winning their games in hand and they can get some halfway decent goaltending and keep scoring goals, they'll be in the playoffs this year. I kept saying that this was the year I felt they would make the playoffs. Ever since the Jack Eichel trade last season, they've been playing lights out hockey, almost lights out hockey, but they've been very good, and these guys right now are scary good. They're a team nobody wants to play, especially the good teams like Boston, Washington, Minnesota, Calgary, Edmonton. We've beaten these teams in their buildings. So we improved to 20-15-2 on the season. And on Monday, we played the Philadelphia Flyers, who are 15-17-7. And then we play the Seattle Kraken on Tuesday, who are 22-12-4. So we should beat Philadelphia, and it's back to back, so I'm hoping we beat Seattle, but back to back games are hard to win. But I think we can beat Seattle, and then we play the Winnipeg Jets, who are 25-13-1. So teams are good records coming up. And I do think, though, that the Buffalo Sabres can go 4-0 in this homestand. We needed this win tonight over the Minnesota Wild. We got it. They're a very good team. But Minnesota gets a point in the standings. And it was a very fun, very entertaining game. This team is fun again to watch and to listen to because I'm in Indiana. They don't show the Sabres games in my area unless they're on a nationally broadcasted channel, which the Sabres play on MSG, so I don't get that channel. But thank God for Sirius XM Radio. I do get it on there, and they are a very fun team, Very exciting team, and we got to keep on winning. Get into the playoffs this year. End that 11-year drought, and let's make the playoffs this year. Keep on winning. So bring on the Philadelphia Flyers and the return of Rasmus Ristolainen to Buffalo. As y'all know, he was traded last year or the year before. I think it was last year, in a deal that sent him to Philadelphia for Will Butcher. And then we flipped Will Butcher for to Florida for a draft pick. So, guys, comment in the comment section below on what you think. And as always, if you like my videos, like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss a video. Stay tuned for my Buffalo Bills versus New England Patriots preview. Stay tuned for my Philadelphia Flyers at Buffalo Sabres preview. Stay tuned for my New England Patriots at Buffalo Bills halftime report, and stay tuned for my New England Patriots at Buffalo Bills recap. The Buffalo Bills can clinch the number 2 seed with a win tomorrow over the New England Patriots. Good win for the Buffalo Sabres, and bring on the Philadelphia Flyers. I can't wait. What a team. What a win. This team is good again, and let's go out and let's get these wins. Let's win on Monday and Tuesday. Let's beat Philadelphia and Seattle back to back. Seattle beat us in the first meeting, so I want revenge. I want to beat Seattle and finally get a win against the Seattle Kraken. So, go Sabres. Stay tuned for my New England Patriots at Buffalo Bills preview. Good win, 6-5 in overtime, back-to-back wins in overtime for the Buffalo Sabres. 6-5 win over the Minnesota Wild. What a good game. Go Sabres. Let's beat the Flyers on Monday night at KeyBank Center in downtown Buffalo.